This one question incorrectly. 38 students answered this wrong. Bessie's mother was proud of her daughter's sharp mind. Which type of figurative language is used in the underlined phrase? By raising your hand, how many of you think it is A? Okay. How many of you think it is B? C? So what is it, 23 of us in here? So we're going to say our whole class, which is 23, believes it is C. And nobody believes it's alliteration, right? Okay. So, let me give you. So, 15 people said A. What is a simile? Elias, what is a simile?
It means, so like and as.
So, what are they doing if they're using like and as?
They're comparing something to machine.
Okay, so they're making a comparison using like or as. Okay. 11 people said it was an exaggeration. That's not a figurative language. So that it is the meaning, but it's not a figurative language. What did it ask you? It asked you which type of figurative language, not what is the meaning of this figurative language. So that should have automatically crossed this one out and crossed this one out. Alliteration. Does anybody know what alliteration is? Brooklyn.
The repetition of consonants.
Consonants. So, do we see anything that's repeating a consonant sound?
No.
So, we already could have taken off alliteration. 93 people said idiom, which I'm guessing all of you said idiom on the test also.
Yes.
Job. So, I'm going to hand you guys a little sheet just as a reference point. Not saying that any of you don't understand figurative language, but it's just that reference point for you to go back and say, okay, this is what figurative language is. This is what these titles mean when we see them. Like, so you'll know what an idiom is. It has an idiom. It has alliteration. It has an onomatopoeia, you know, which a lot of people struggle with. Personification, when you give give animal-like human-like qualities to an object. Hyperboles, analogies. So every table will get some for everybody to have as a reference point. I advise you to write your name on this so that you can keep up with them. These are great tools for you to use when you're reviewing, especially when it comes, since it is very close to milestone times. This is helpful because you guys ask for a lot of reviews, and we give them to you, and then they come up and we see them on the floor in the classroom. How are they helping you if you leave them here? But then people want extra credit, or they want another review or a study guide, which I've heard a lot of you have asked for. That's enough. For study guides. So, as you guys can see, it's a helpful tool for, okay, this is figurative language. These are what these things mean. And this is how it's helpful. So, if we were to move forward, 31, question number 31. So, I told you how many students took the test? 140. 102 students answered this question incorrectly. Only 38 people got this question right. So they gave you the sentence. So that was a clue. They gave you the sentence. It says the sirens wailed, pierced through the muggy afternoon, and echoed off the Ozark hills. Which type of figurative language is used in the underlined phrase? So they told you where to go. So here in your underlined phrase, this is the only part that you're focusing on. You're not focusing on the "the." You're not focused on the other end of that sentence. Only this part. Okay? So, let's think about this. If we're saying, okay, some people said it was a metaphor. Raise your hand if you thought it was a metaphor. So we have 3 people that thought it was a metaphor. Okay? Why? Where's their comparison? What are they comparing this Underlying sentence, anything in this underlying sentence, is it comparing? So that would have taken off a metaphor. Because the only difference between a metaphor and a simile is that use like or as. So that would have taken off 2 answer choices. Because we didn't see like or as, and we didn't see a comparison. Because most of you, when you said metaphor, what were you saying it was comparing it to? Like, what did you believe it compared it to?
I don't really know. I took an educated guess.
Okay, so you took an educated guess. Okay, but based on the review that you guys did, you really didn't need to take an educated guess because you had worked on it. So, the siren's wail. Does everybody know what a wail is? Like a cry. Like if a baby's wailing, they're crying. Pierced. How many girls have ear piercings? Okay, how many of you know somebody who has body piercings or any other piercing? Okay, so we know if we're piercing something, what are we doing?
Putting a hole in it.
So you're puncturing something or you're putting a hole through something. So what type of figurative language, by referencing these bookmarks that you were just handed, what figurative language does it come very closely to? Personification? And what is the definition of personification?
When an object or an animal acts like a person.
Say it again. It's an idiom. What? When we think of personification, you guys just gave me the definition. Do you see any of those qualities?
No.
What is an example of a personification? Kaylin, give me an example.
The turtle.
No. Okay. What about if I say it's raining cats and dogs?
It's raining That's not personification.
Okay, give me some with personification.
The tree has. The potato had many eyes.
The potato had many eyes. Does the potato have eyes?
No. But it does have a lot.
But does it have eyes?
No.
I have eyes. The potato cannot see. The tree is dancing. So, if a tree is dancing, what are you saying is what is happening? The wind is blowing. Like the wind could be blowing and the leaves are dancing.
Like that?
Well, we know a tree can't dance if it's rooted into the ground, right?
Or if you want like that.
It's not moving yet.
I see one.
Not even where the wind's not blowing.
I see one.
Okay,
One up there.
so today, you guys, we're gonna move into a different unit because you guys know we just started a new quarter. So we're gonna talk about a few different things. So I kind of, as you guys can see, I did condense table 6, so everybody's like at a table in 5 different groups. These are the people you're gonna work with today.
Yes.
Okay? So right now you're gonna work with them because we're gonna do an activity which requires you guys to be in pairs so you can do some peer assisted learning. So in your groups, each group is gonna get an envelope. You have a few items in your envelope. Okay? So I give each group an envelope. You don't open it until instructed to. Okay? So I'll explain what I expect you guys to do. This requires you guys to have a conversation and to discuss with each other what it is. So when you open these envelopes, you have to be very careful, okay? Because there are some small pieces in there. So if you take them out too quickly, what'll happen is they can fly. You'll lose pieces, and you don't want to lose them because they all contribute to an overarching thing that we want you guys to come up with. So you're gonna work in your small group, and you guys are gonna look at. Some of you have images. Some of you just have words. Some of you have reference points where it says reference your agenda. Some of you have all these different things. So I advise you guys to use this time very wisely because I'm gonna put 4 minutes on the timer. It may not take you all the 4 minutes because some of you have some images that may give it away. Some of you do not, so it may take a little bit longer. So I want you guys to take whoever you choose to open the envelope up. Take the items that you see in the envelope out and set them on the middle of the table. Okay? And you're going to start looking at these images. Begin by looking This one is just sticky, so you just open it. So make sure you don't lose any of your images. So, everybody, so while we're doing this, you guys come up with 1 or 2 words that describes what it is that these images are telling you, or these words are telling you. What is it that they want you to do based on these words? And we're going to infer the topic. What is it that we're going to talk about? And we're going to share out based on each group. What is it that you want to talk about? What is it that we're going to talk about in this unit? What is it that we're going to explore? And we're going to continuously expand on this.
Okay, so.
Like I said, some of them may be easier.
What is this?
Okay, wait.
Okay, so this is a tornado.
So, we want to allow people the opportunity to look. We're going to talk.
Those are trees. They're green.
Go away from.
Because you guys have to place. Nope, you guys have to push it out. We're going to talk. Somewhere. This is giving you information about what you're talking about. So you're inferring based on the words and what you see. Because like think of it, you guys have
So we have source movement and flood. So we're probably worried about a place that needs to be
every group almost in consensus on what they believe their words and images are talking about. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, we got one more group. Let's give them 1 more second. You guys almost got it?
It's like right.
Let me see.
This is 75. So this look. What is cute? Right here.
She has a cute little dog. She's sitting there.
I'm waiting. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely comparing. Yeah, I don't know what else it could be. I believe that it's you're not
Okay.
ladies and differences.
All eyes on me. It seems like every group is in consensus of what it is that their words are talking about or their images. So we're going to start at group 1, okay? So, Darian, what is it that your group felt that your words were telling you about the topic that we'll be studying? Alabama. So, we have a state that we're focusing on. So, they said Alabama. Alabama is one of the states that we'll be talking about. Okay, so I'll write it up here. Alabama. Group 2. Kennedy, what was it that you guys focused on?
Compare and contrast.
Compare and contrast. And what gave it away?
The Venn diagram.
The diagram. Group 3.
Ours was tornado.
Tornado. And what were some of the words or images that you had?
We had whirlwind, twister, basement, bathtub, funnel cloud, sound of fire engines, and
So it kind of gave you different things that either you were expected to do if a tornado hit, was hide in your bathtub or get away from all glass objects, or even like the Fujita spell that you guys have, which rates the tornado's winds and stuff. Yes, go ahead.
We thought ours was natural disasters.
Natural disasters. Did it focus on just one natural disaster, or was it talking about
It
all?
was a lot because it said droughts and floods. And it said we thought that if there were other things that would force them from their homes, there could be multiple.
So a natural disaster. Group 5. Go ahead, Noah.
The earthquake in Haiti.
Earthquake in Haiti.
Well, like, just like Haiti.
So you guys hit the nail on the coffin. You guys were provided different things to show you. So we will be comparing and contrasting, as you guys saw, against Alabama, who recently suffered what? Do you guys know? What was it? A tornado, which is also a natural disaster. Versus Haiti, who suffered an earthquake, which Noah did tell us. So we're going to read a book in our next unit that will focus on these aspects, but we'll make a comparison to something that recently happened today. Okay? So to Alabama, they had a tornado. They recently? No, like in today's society, like right now.
Oh.
Recently. So we'll focus on that. So let's put all those pieces back into the folder that was handed to you guys, or the envelope. And Crystal, if you can go around and collect every groups and then set them on the table over there, please.
This whole said it needed to sit in here and
So,
my couple, but I never said my social studies test and I got so
thank you, Crystal. Okay, so you guys, since we did do this, so we kind of got a topic, so you guys know, okay, this is what we're focusing on. You guys didn't get the time to walk around and do what is known as a chalk talk. So, when doing a chalk talk, I'm going to give you a little background. There is no conversation. So there's images all up around the classroom. Some have quotes from people that were involved in Haiti or involved in Alabama. Some of them just have images of what is left after the tornadoes, after the earthquakes. So you're going to walk around, whether you're talking about your emotions. How did it make you feel? Did you have a family member that was there during the time that something happened? Did you happen to understand the displacement? So you're just talking about your emotions. If you agree with someone, you can write that on your sticky note and just attach it to their comment. So we're actually having conversation through the sticky notes rather than physically, verbally talking, okay? Each of you can come to the table. You'll grab the sticky notes. There's 9 pictures up, so if you choose, you can grab whichever color that you would like. There's pink, orange, yellow, and green. And I'll point out where the images are located so we'll know. So we have a quote here from a parent whose daughter was involved. Then we have another quote here. And then you come over here. We have an image, and we have another quote. We have an image up on this wall for you guys to see. One here. We have one here. One on this window. And then our last and final image is right here on this window. Okay? So you guys can stick your sticky notes wherever surrounding those pictures. And you can move at your own pace. We are timing this, so we will have about 8 minutes so you guys can gradually, slowly move throughout. I'm going to call each table so you can go and grab your sticky notes, okay? You can use 9. Yes, ma'am.
So, were you writing on those sticky
Yep, you're writing on those sticky notes. So you just write your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. If you've had a family member that dealt with it, you can write a connection if you would like to. If you agree with something somebody else put, you can write that. I'll be moving around too, writing my own comments and concerns and stuff like that, based on what I see. Okay? Any more questions or concerns? Okay, so table 1, you can go grab 9 sticky notes, whichever color you prefer. Yep. Once you grab them, group 1, you can sit back down. Table 2, go ahead. That's fine. Here. Using these? Table 3. Once every group gets their sticky notes, then we'll get up and start moving, okay? Table 4. Yes, go ahead. Let's go ahead. Table 5.
And then you'll get mad. Okay, everybody's ready? So remember, so our voices are off as we do this. We're just using our sticky notes and a pencil to write. So everybody can stand up, push their chairs in.
You got it.
Make sure our chairs are pushed in. We don't want any, and make sure our belongings are pushed under our chairs so nobody is tripping over them as they walk through. So you will need a pencil and a sticky note or a pen if you prefer. And we may begin walking around.
4 minutes left on the timer for this activity. We have 30 seconds left.
The stupid spiral.
Okay, so everybody should be slowly making their way back to their seats. The timer's going off. Finish your last sticky note and then they're going to the seat. Alright, 2 more seconds and then everybody should be at their seat. guys got to walk around, you saw people's thoughts, you saw their emotions, you saw their feelings, or if they had real life connections to it, if they had a family member or someone that experienced it firsthand. So I'm gonna give you guys the option. You guys can share at your table some of the thoughts that you did have while walking around. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that, okay? So you go ahead and start and have conversations at your table. I'll be walking around, maybe putting in my input based on what it is I read. What did I see? What did I understand firsthand? What connections did I make? Did I have any family members or anybody close to me that was involved in either one of these? Okay?
Alright, you can go.
I feel really okay. So in that one, I saw how much that depression. Depression. But how much that certain ways had gone through. And I said it's like one person sharing with release one undeserving land because that one was there. I was kind of scared. I was kind of I felt like sad because like those people, their homes destroyed by like the experience I wrote that I wonder that I'm glad that they're alive.
I think it made me cry just a little bit because like all those houses and cars lost because of we were scared to do that.
That empty back there, I feel like that.
Oh, and for reference, if I did let you guys know, those that go to Miss Strain, there is no Miss Strain today, okay? Just to let you guys know.
But for this over there, no, actually for that one on the board, I feel bad for that family.
I do. Oh, but so it's bad that they lost all that stuff that they put in money. Yes. And that nobody has a job, so they can't. They can't earn any more money. Like how is the insurance company was affected by? Exactly.
Like, you guys, one of the big things that resonated with me was actually a quote from the mother. Her child had passed away in the
Like she wasn't at her house.
She wasn't with her.
And by the time she got there, her
And they said this, and she was like,
Should I put slime?
it's one thing to lose your child when they're in the care of you, but she wasn't even with you, she was with another family. So you couldn't even see. You couldn't because it's a natural disaster.
Alright, let's see.
For that
talking about how the tornado is bad. This is like it's bad. Yeah, mine over there. I guess it was
Okay, so let's kind of slowly end the conversations that we are having. If you guys would like, you can raise your hand, share something that a partner shared with you, or something that you felt yourself. You know, Taylor, give me one thing that you heard or you felt.
With Angela said that from that work piece, she said that she felt that he didn't care. I agree with that. Because he just said it so calmly. It's just like, I guess.
So the piece that you guys read is actually an author from the New York Times. So he is writing a story about the events that took place. So he wasn't there firsthand. And you guys know, like sometimes when stuff happens very traumatically and we can't understand firsthand, do we always feel emotional about it?
Yeah.
You always feel emotional about something that you're not there for, or if your family wasn't affected. Sometimes we can be a little standoffish where we don't understand those emotions, or we don't understand what it is that they are going through, because we're like, our family wasn't affected, or I wasn't affected, you know. And one thing that resonated with me was, even with the tornado that hit Alabama, my cousin goes to the University of Alabama, and though it didn't hit there, she was very close to where it did hit. So it's like, it's kind of scary to know, okay, 1 minute you're talking to a family member and the next minute they're gone, or the next minute they're severely injured or hurt, where you can't control it. That's not safe. Let's not do that. Go ahead. Thank you.
For the quote over there,
Okay.
I said that I wondered what had happened, what they did after the natural disaster passed, and I hope that whenever another one came by, they'd be prepared this time.
So it's like a learning curve, right? Like here, when we had the snowpocalypse, were we really prepared for snow?
No.
No, because Georgia doesn't see a lot of snow. So we learn from, we're like, okay, we need to get salt trucks down here, so when incidents like this happen, we can make it where it is eliminated very quickly, correct? So hopefully this is a learning curve for them. This is like, okay, let's take something negative and make a positive out of it. Okay? Yes, Caitlin, go ahead. You had your hand up?
I said for that picture back there.
Okay.
I said that. Wait, which one is the
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I said for that picture back there, I think that they were hungry because they were relieved that it was over, but they were still like sad. They were happy that they were alive.
So they survived it. Even though they were hurt, they lost everything, they still survived. Brooklyn.
For that picture right there, I said that I know that they may be hurt, but I know that they're probably very happy that the baby survived, because she could have a full life ahead of her, and if she died just because of a natural disaster, then she couldn't really do anything.
When I was over there, when I was talking about this story and how her daughter passed away because of the house crushing her, I can tell that she was very upset, and just know it, because sometimes if you're not there and something happens, it can kind of make you feel a bit guilty because you weren't there to kind of stop it. And I think that was very sad. And her daughter probably had her whole life ahead of her, and she had to die just because of natural disaster.
Yeah, and I said that to group 5 because I was talking to Brooklyn and Michael and Noah and Bo, and I was letting them know, I said, I know, like, even though I have no children, I know how my mom would feel. You know, like when I was younger, she was very hesitant to let me go to people's houses, especially if it's storming and things like that. Like, she got very nervous about events like that. And to listen and read about a parent who had just sent their child off, who begged to go be with her friend, for you to have to come back 24 hours later and say, oh, I let my child go over there, and then something bad happened, and I couldn't even save her life. So it just kind of makes you hurt for a lot of people. And then a lot of the images kind of resonated because of loss, devastation. A lot of them have worked their whole lives to get to the place they were, for their stuff to just be taken away from them that quickly. And we, like I told them, we all can't understand that because a lot of us, we have homes that are built with a concrete foundation, so they're more stable. But when the tornado hit Alabama, it hit in an area where there were a lot of trailer homes, so they're not as stable. So as soon as high winds sweep by, it takes the trailer home with it. So because they're not on a concrete foundation, they haven't been built up to withstand certain winds. A lot of our homes are made of brick, and some people have this weird, I forgot what the wood is called, but it can be made of wood, but the concrete of your house is concrete to elevate it off the ground. Yes, Cadence.
That picture over there, to me, it looked like she was seeing her kid for the first time, well, at least the little girl, for the first time after a long time. And so I said the memory of losing your family is never forgotten, because even though she found family, she's still going to remember that day where she had lost them and she felt so bad about it.
Understood. So we did this activity, and I know you guys are wondering, like, why are we doing this? What is the importance of this? How does this
relate with us? How is it important to us? So, you guys, we will do, in this unit, you'll be talking about 8 days, a story of Haiti. And it will focus on the aspect of the natural disaster that did occur there. So today we're not going to get too heavily involved in reading the book. You guys are going to do a quick scan with your groups, okay? So each group gets a chart paper. While doing your quick scan, you guys will write down some observations that you see in the book. What are some things that you saw that maybe you saw on the pictures? What is something that was not new to you? What is something that you didn't know that maybe this quick scan showed you? Okay? So we're going to do that within our group. So all you need is a pencil or a pen. And I'll hand each group chart paper. You can lay it flat on the table. Make sure every group member is involved. And I'll give you guys some books to work with, okay? Yeah, put your stuff on the ground and give me a chart paper. So please handle these books as if they were your personal books.
Just want to pass the
You
book.
do not want to rip any pages. You do not want to pull the book, snatch the book, stuff like that.
Just snap. Okay.
So,
Because I made my favorite final. What is it? But it's my favorite.
So let's just scan the book a little bit and then write down what we
So you guys are working together. You're doing a quick scan so that you observe some words that you may see that stand out to you. Even unfamiliar vocabulary, if you see some words that you don't fully understand or know, you can write them down. Make sure it's big because we're going to
Each person has one. I say each person. I want to go first. I want to go second. Yeah, but he's first. Okay, just start reading. Okay.